The system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history. In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing. The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We'd get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As guys, today we're going to have some important discussions about some clips that have been leaked across this community over the past couple days. But first, this is an important conversation that we all need to have. Are we right now, in fact, in a bear market across all markets? Well, honestly, let's take a look. It's no surprise to all of you that I've been bearish on Bitcoin for quite a while. I entertain the possibility of Bitcoin potentially going higher than 69,000 due to the fact that plenty of analysts had been signaling that that was a possibility. However, right now, everyone is screaming bear. One thing I'll say though is that we've gone down too quickly in one direction. Everyone is now bearish on the entire market. And to me, that typically signals that a bullish reversal is on its way. What I'll say to all of you is, while we may be in a long-term bear market, what I have consistently been trying to get all of you to understand is that even back here in 2017, when Bitcoin was in a bull market, we had the alts remaining relatively stagnant. And then it was down here when Bitcoin really began its bear market. That's when the life-changing altcoin season really began. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say this. We've been grinding sideways and down for a while, but I don't think we've ended our final alt run yet. I believe when we finally see Bitcoin have its reversal from all this negative downward action, that's when some of our favorite coins are going to run. We have not seen XRP hit its all-time high yet. We have not seen Stellar hit its all-time high yet. That, accompanied with numerous other high-quality blue-chip cryptos, could be in for one final run. We could be in a bear market, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that this is a great opportunity for all of you to awaken yourselves and become passive income maximalists for one, and aggressive swing traders two. Ladies and gentlemen, in my OnlyFans, down in the description below, I have posted my number one favorite passive income opportunity in the crypto market right now, and how I'm best optimizing this. This crypto, I believe, when everything is said and done, will have a 50x return on it down the road. Not tomorrow, not next month, but I do believe that's what the price has in store for it. Please check that token out and that passive income opportunity out down in the description below, as earning more of this crypto could change lives even while prices and markets continue to fall. That being said though, I'm continuously getting more and more bullish on the stock market, believe it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you that have been following my channel for a while have known I've been bearish on the stock market for a while. Here we now see that stocks across the board are down 70 to 80% from their previous all-time highs. And for some specific stocks, I had made aggressive moves and entered into them. It's moments like this that truly make the contrarian investor. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to have balls to be able to navigate these times. And this XRP army has the biggest ones in the space. Everyone in the crypto space right now is simply experiencing what the XRP army has had to deal with for the past couple years. And that's why I believe we'll be the first to come out of this quote bear market. That being said though, we have to zoom out and remember why we're all here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an interview from CNBC signifying how this entire digital disruption space is going to make us wealthy. Continue to be patient because they, the elite, the 1%, most definitely are. Please watch and please take a listen as to why you should be bullish even during these fearful times.
Weigh in on the world of crypto because we've had that conversation a lot over the years, and I know you've been somewhat skeptical, I think, of maybe crypto as a currency, but you've been bullish in terms of on the blockchain. Clearly, the valuations of a lot of the exchanges, even the folks that are trying to do this on an institutional basis, there's been a lot of conversation about sort of where Goldman fits into the crypto landscape in the future. Do you think that this changes the dynamic in terms of the price coming down, of how even a Goldman Sachs or some of your competitors may think about crypto?
I continue to be a real bull on the digital disruption of the financial infrastructure that underpins everything that we and others that interact in the financial system, do on a day-to-day basis. The way money moves around the world, the way we can keep track of things, the way we can create automation and efficiency. Big believer that blockchain and other technologies, some that exist, some that haven't been developed yet, give us great latitude to really evolve that infrastructure, create less friction for end users, more efficiency, cheaper products and services. And so I'm a big believer in that. And we've been investing a lot in that. With respect to cryptocurrencies, as you appropriately point out, the regulatory construct does not let us do a lot. We talk to clients. We try to respond to inquiries from clients. We're trying to find interesting ways to use the blockchain and use technology in the world that we operate in. So, we've been involved in the construct of doing some repo on the blockchain. We've been involved in making loans that are secured, structurally secured by somebody who would custody some sort of cryptocurrency. But at the end of the day, I don't have a strong view. Bitcoin up, down, sideways.
But I think a lot of people,
I'm more focused on the technology infrastructure than I am on cryptocurrency.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that's what's most important. It's the innovation. It's the growth in the technology that is rapidly gaining adoption. Guys, during these times, you're going to hear the most fearful headlines you'll ever have heard. This is a great example, as today it states the Federal Reserve doesn't care about your stock portfolio, at least until inflation calms down. Oh, what an ominous message, spreading complete fear porn everywhere. Under every single financial rock you look under right now, it's extreme fear. But what I often say is that whenever there's extreme fear in the markets, you have to replace the word fear with the term buy. It is simply an extreme buying opportunity. This is the thing. As people continuously feel more pain and people are more fearful, we have all these other things at play. Russia, Ukraine, we got some monkeypox going around too. You can't make this stuff up. Eventually down the road, they stated that this summer, blackouts are definitely possible. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember being called a conspiracy theorist in 2020 for saying this was going to be one of the biggest catalysts for the crypto space. And here, the narratives of the massive blackouts are upon us. Food shortages will begin. Cyber attacks will be in the air. And people are really concerned about some price fluctuations. get it together. There's more important things going on in the world than a subtle drop in some crypto and stock prices. Everything will recover, but the world is imploding. That being said, the Federal Reserve, while they're causing pain, they will not be able to stop inflation. They have two choices, and they're going to do both of them. They're either going to halt inflation, causing the biggest wipeout, the biggest obliteration of wealth in human history, or they're going to let inflation run wild, make the price of goods go through the roof, and make it so that people can't afford basic goods. The Federal Reserve right now is saying choose your pain. And I believe the next round of CPI numbers are going to be bad. They've been raising interest rates subtly, and markets have priced in a recession already. But this is the thing. They went too far in one direction. We will need more inflation. One, to bring on central bank digital currencies, but two, to also help stimulate the economy in the event of these black swan events that are being predicted by myself and many other people as we speak. There's no getting around it. It's all going to come. And while we know that most of the world doesn't know what's going to come, we hold the asset in XRP specifically that will be used for a flip of the switch moment or a gradual transition into the new financial system. Here we see from Swift that they're collaborating with Capgemini to explore how Swift can interlink the multiple domestic-based CBDC networks emerging worldwide to make cross-border payments with digital currencies more seamless and frictionless. Now, I'm going to play you this clip of Leah Halpern interviewing a man that stated Swift and Ripple will be working together from a couple years ago. Please take a listen, because this is the end game.
There's a discussion surrounding crypto replacing SWIFT. So we did speak earlier where you mentioned that it's not necessarily about replacing SWIFT, it's about complementing it. So let's get some more information on this.
Okay. I used to work for Swift. I was Swift for 20 years, so Swift is flowing through my veins. Swift is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., NOSTA reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where Swift would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, the payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks, which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that Swift are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the Swift network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
Now, so, I just slightly moving on for a second.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me make myself clear. That is an older clip from this community, about a year and a half ago at that. But a lot of you have come into this community over the past year and a half. There is something where some people don't like it when we bring up old information, and I completely don't understand that. Sometimes we need to refer to the past to 1, maintain confidence to hold in the present, and 2, inform people that are new, or at the very least, jog our memories of why the hell we hold this thing. This man worked at Swift for 20 years and talked about XRP being used for FX, Ripple not replacing Swift but being one of the complementary networks. And you all need to understand the bias of the interviewer here. She is not the biggest XRP fan, so she wanted to move on from that comment. But I need to remind all of you, with this ISO standard going live this November, and the change in the digitalization of society and the financial system afoot, with a financial collapse inbound, we hold the asset that is still extremely cheap, but is meant to solve extremely expensive problems. Ladies and gentlemen, XRP and Ripple have suffered at the hands of the SEC, but I ask all of you, does this look like the CEO of a company that thinks they're going to lose a lawsuit? Absolutely not. Personally, I do believe we're in the subtle limbo state right before regulations allow for the capital to flood into this market. And once they wipe out people's courage, once institutions get their entry points, they'll sell it to the masses, and we become godfathered in to the new 1%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Remember what it is that you hold. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Another point you've made, and this is, I think, particularly relevant 10 years into a bull market, is that I think you said more money has been lost anticipating a downturn than actually in the downturn. Can you explain?
Well, obviously, the market's gone up tenfold since I stopped running Magellan. So you make more money on the upside. The market's going to be a lot higher in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Trying to predict the market is really a waste. I don't know what it's going to do. It can go down. When I ran Magellan, 13 years, it declined 10% or more, 9 times the market.
Wow.
I had a perfect record. I went down more than 10% every time. Whatever the market went down, I went down more. But over the long term, the upside is more than the downside. So you're going to say to yourself, do I need the money in the next month? Do I need the money in the next year? Do I have kids going to college? Do I have a wedding coming up? Then you're a bad investor. If you can keep putting money in, you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 year, you should do well.